always start the, and I got to take this music out of my ears. I always start the live on YouTube at the same time. So that's kind of why in the beginning it just looks a little bit, you know, maybe discombobulated, but it's really not. It's a managed chaos. It's a managed chaos, which is like a lot of what life is, right? So my name is Janny, and I go live every Monday. Yo, Julie. I go live every Monday. OMG. Revs, is that you? I might have to call you. I might have to get you on here just to see how you're doing. I hope you're doing well. I called you, left a ton of messages. You don't return phone calls, yo. Anyway, so like I was saying, managed chaos. This is what mediumship stuff is kind of like sometimes. So I am excited to be here with you. I am excited every Monday to be here with you. I'm looking forward to tonight. I came here a little bit early, and obviously, as you see, I'm not late. So that's the good news. There's no lateness going on right now. I am, all of a sudden I start coming on. I'm having a hard time talking. I'm getting really stuck in my throat. So that's probably something we're going to talk about. So one of the things that I sat down and I wanted to know what we were going to talk about and what I was going to share with you. So I thought I would share a couple of the things. I had a channeling before we began, and I wanted to talk about some of my mediumship groups that I've done. And then I would like to give some readings, and we're going to be talking about vibrations and frequencies. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about I want to talk about something fun that happened at a group that I did over the weekend. So it was so adorable. I was in a room. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Helen. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Christy. Revs, I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Krista. And one of the really fun things that happened was I was doing a group with 8 people. I'm standing in the room. All of a sudden, I just keep seeing things about shoes. And then I'm specifically seeing shoes, tennis shoes getting washed, getting sold, selling them on Facebook or Marketplace. And I just keep seeing this. And it turned out the person hosting the party, their son in like the room behind me does this all the time. He buys and sells shoes, cleans them up, gets them ready, does everything, revamps them, then turns around and sells them. And he received such a great message for like his future. It's interesting because Spirit doesn't care who gets the message. If you're around in the house, you're going to get a message. If you're supposed to get a message. What does that mean? I see a lot of other famous mediums that do these live videos, and one of the things that happens is that people say, I want a reading, give me a reading, I want it, tell me what was happening, tell me something, and they keep saying it over and over and over again. I've seen it in groups. I've seen it when I do large groups. If I do a smaller group, everybody's getting a message. But if I'm at a larger group and you're not getting a message, it's not your time. So I want to kind of just give this moment to you to just allow you to breathe and go, when the message is right for you, it will happen. It will absolutely happen. So try not to get stuck on, I didn't get a message. Usually, if you're on here, you're supposed to be on here. Even if you're watching this later, even if you're watching this like a year from now, there could be a very clear message in there for you, and it was meant for you to see it. So just allow yourself this kind of space to experience this vibration and frequency. Okay? So does that make sense to people? I hope it does. Because like I said, this looks like chaos. Life looks like chaos, but there is a managed part of it that we don't have any clue about and will not even comprehend while we're on this earth. So if you can kind of like get out of your mind that everything has to make sense and just having this moment where you're in this happiness and you're feeling free and you're loving yourself and trying to love everybody around you to the best of your ability and having the intention to love everybody around them at the best of your ability, you will absolutely have a happier life. Okay. So, and that's what I want to talk about when tonight. So I do channel. I don't really talk about it too much, but I do. I mean, channeling. How do I say this? So I channel. So I kind of see what I do as a medium. I'm a facilitator between two worlds. I'll channel that. That's a channel, right? I will channel your loved ones, guides, angels, whoever comes through and has something to say. Channeling, I see that as a different thing. So I know they call it channeling and all that, but I'll channeling when I'm channeling a higher entity or a higher group or higher angels, or that's what I call channeling. There's two, I define them as two separate things, you understand. So tonight I kind of came over here, I was like, what am I going to talk about? I wanted to talk about groups. I wanted to talk about having an idea about life, but I put pen to paper, and that's how my channeling will come through right now and I put pen to paper. What they really wanted to talk about was peace. I was a little bit surprised about that. Peace is a vibration and a frequency. Peace is an ability you're able to call it in. So, okay. So I'm just looking at my notes from what they said. Oh, that's what they said. Oh, that's interesting because so sometimes when I'm channeling and I'm doing writing, it's automatic writing, and I'm not aware of what they said. Now I read it. So now it's always a surprise. Sometimes I don't go back and read my stuff. I probably should. I may have like 5 books ready to just be written. But tonight they wanted me to talk about the choice of peace. The choice of peace. And then peace is a vibration and frequency for everyone to ignite, which is a very interesting way to talk about vibration and frequency as something to ignite, to become ignited in, something to be started. So it takes you showing up in order to get there. Does it make sense? So the image that they put into my head when I sat there and began to how am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? What they showed me is imagining, and I want you to try that this week. Now, before I give you like this little piece of homework, understand, like, you're here to listen to what's happening. If you're here, you are supposed to be hearing this. So my guides are working with your guides that are working with you, that are working directly with you. And it's this real, almost, let's say, ignition. We're really beginning to turn the key over to begin to spark this big shift. Now, granted, when I say big shift, let's not get the human animal side, be like, oh, a big shift should mean in 60 seconds, everything's going to change, right? Not necessarily, right? When you're talking cultural global shifts, this happens over time. And as you get older, you're going to see cycles that begin to happen. And then shifts and changes happen as they go down the road. But it's very important to start to get the engine kind of beginning to whine a little bit. Maybe you need a little jump start. Maybe you need to call in your guides more. Maybe you need to call in your light. Maybe you need to just really think about this, is that we're warming up the car. We're igniting this. So again, my angels, my guides working with you, your angels, your guides, and very closely with you. That's one of the reasons why I do these on a weekly basis, is that it's like a little spiritual injection that you can just tune into and not have to pay any money for it. You just get it for free, which is great. So the image that they put into my mind about the ignition or igniting piece, because I was like, because I asked the question, so energy is a vibration and frequency. How can people be in it? how are you going to like, what kind of visualization could possibly be given to people on peace? So what they like immediately after that, they began to show me you know those, so it's how would you call this, like it's a stand-up tub. Have you seen those? As you get older, they're sort of talk about like converting so you can make it a stand-up tub so it's safe. So they showed me one of those. So you kind of set it almost like you're at shoulder height, and you imagine that you're like bringing peace, the vibration of peace, as you call the intention to peace to be coming towards you and peace to be filling up this tub around you. It begins to infiltrate and diffuse into your body, into your cells, not only your physical cells, but also your etheric soul selves. So as you begin to really get in and feel this, you have to just allow yourself to kind of steep like a tea bag, be in it, hold that vibration and intention, and then allow this frequency and this vibration of peace to come in. When you fill yourself up with it, you begin to, you're going to be able to feel how when you're moving within the world, you begin to make choices for peace, a choice of peace. Your first choice is peace. Instead of maybe your second, fifth, 10th choice, be like, oh, shoot, I should have thought of that first and done that. No. Because you're being infused with it and steeping it, it actually begins to move the car, actually begins to move the engine. Let's just keep that engine. That engine block is frozen. So we're really got to just warm it up here, okay? All right. So the more that you think about, and I know I've shared this with a lot of people, when you have, I'm just making a little picture here of the way I see the world in different ways, okay? So I want you to think of vibration and frequency. Actually, I'll do it this way. I just thought of another one. So anybody who's ever like taken geometry, and we're talking about sine, cosine, all of those sorts of elements, I want you to be thinking about again, this is my vibration and frequency right now, okay? So cross-hatched. Oh, I don't even know if you're going to see this. We'll see. It could work. It could be bad, right? All right. The higher up you go, the higher your frequency, all right? So when you think our lower basic self is down here, and as you move up the ladder, you're changing your vibration and frequency and shifting it and changing it, moving it, shifting it, and moving it up and going up, right? So you're shifting and changing everything. But in order to do it, you've got to do the work. You can't just get in the vibration and frequency, and then let's say you get into this tub of peace, and you hold yourself and you get into peace, and you begin to choose peace. You begin to see it. But then maybe something happens within your family. Maybe your sister gets you really riled up. Your sibling is like, ugh, why did you make that choice? Or your mom wanted this, or your dad wanted that, or you got all these different, like taking a moment where you actually remember to bring those frequencies and into the moment is where the change is going to happen. That's the work, not the work of just getting in there and setting the intention. That's all well and good. And that's a great start, a fantastic start. And it definitely not one to minimize. I'm not trying to minimize that at all. What I'm actually trying to say is that as you begin to move within your life, you're going to find that peace can be challenged. And it'll be much easier. Let's just say your peace symbol is up here, and you find yourself floating around here when you're meditating, and then you have to go to work and do something, and you fall down here, and you're like berating yourself. You're falling totally off the ladder. Your self-confidence is blocked. Your ability to like be in that sort of loving area, not only with yourself, but everybody else is just gone. You have to really find a way to take a deep breath, remember the intention, and go back up. Okay. So this is the ignition. This is really what begins, where you're having these moments of, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. Sorry. You're having these moments of doing the work, because in doing the work, that's when you'll shift back into that frequency. And the good news is that when you shift into that frequency, you begin to be in that frequency more and more and more. So that's pretty fantastic. I think I have, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope well. I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad I did not. Okay, funny. I'm gonna put the link down to YouTube so that you guys can find it, because at some point I will be shifting over to. I'll be shifting readings to, readings tonight to YouTube. So I will be moving back and forth. I will continue doing it here, but I would really love it. Oops, I almost hit end video. That would be the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. Yeah, is that what you call it when you're off the ladder? Your inner bee. That's what you call it. I love it. Okay, so just here on YouTube. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. And you know what I want to say? It's actually very powerful to ask questions. So if you have questions or thoughts about anything that I've ever talked about, or get a hold of me or ask the question here. Because if you have a question about it, guarantee other people have a question about it. Be the brave person. Speak up. So so peace. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Eileen, I just love seeing you on here. I just want to say hi. Oh, the message was given by Mother Mary. I'm sure she's around doing lots of stuff too. And that's that brings up a really interesting point that I want to make sure, because I want to normalize something for everybody listening here, because it's really important, because you don't get this the first time around. Matter of fact, you may read every self-help book and then buy a whole nother set of different self-help books telling you the same thing. We as humans forget things, and we need to see it in different ways. So, and then we need to then along these ways see this evolution and begin to shift and change along with it. And then we'll attract different mediums. You may become a medium, different frequencies and vibrations. You'll see different, maybe you're like, okay, I'm out of that and I really want to go into politics. But starting your journey on it is important, and you may be reading the same kind of book over and over again, and that journey is okay. It's absolutely okay, because we must have reminders of what actually happens in the world. We see it, we use it, we utilize that tool, we bring on that tool, we see the tool in a different way, we tweak it, we adjust it, we move on. Then we see another tool, we look at it, we adjust it, we tweak it, we use it, we move on, we throw that one away. Then we get a different tool, we tweak it, we adjust it, we use it for ourselves, because ultimately in the end, you have to use the spiritual tools for yourself. You've got to try them on in order to be able to walk around the world and then say, okay, these things are what's going on. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So I'm going to do a, okay. Oh, I need to, I want to make sure that I say this before I forget, is that, yeah. So one of the things that I want to make sure I talk about is this Monday, not Monday, today's Monday, today's Mediumship Monday, not this Monday, this Wednesday, I am going to be at Earth Elements in Saline. It's a brand new I think I should get you the fire. There you go. It's a brand new metaphysical shop that is in Saline, and it's a great place. So it's a great place. It is a wonderful place to begin to really connect. They have James is one of the co-owners, James and Kristen, and it's just a great metaphysical shop, and I just adore it. It has wonderful energy, and and I am a huge art buff. I'm a huge art fan. Actually, I actually got to walk into somebody's house and think I mean, like, seriously, get ready. I think that I like came face to face with a real Van Gogh. I was blown out of my mind because Van Gogh is one of my absolute favorites. So I thought, holy cow, is this like like jumping up and down? And they're like, if it ever goes missing, Janny, we know where it went. Like, I'm not going to take your Van Gogh, but I do want to come over and look at it by myself. Anyway, I think that's important. I think art is very, very important. And James is an artist, and he does some amazing work. I've seen him do some. I think he might have sold it, which is too bad because I thought I might want to buy it. He has made Kali and one of the Hindu gods. I mean, if he does, I think he did a Ganesh. Ganesh is a really important Hindu god to me. So, so understand that that it's a great place. I will be there March 6th. And that is going to be this Wednesday. The group reading will start at 6 and go till 8 or 9, or it depends on kind of what messages come through and how long and how important. I mean, not how important, but I'll stay till Spirit says I'm done. Basically, that's what I say. Okay, so with that, I want to move on, okay, and talk a little bit about messages. I want to talk about somebody who I saw this earlier. I want to talk about somebody who had a Jeep. I almost saw this Jeep like being incredibly loved around wildflowers. They're showing me a white Jeep. It's also, I think there might be that you may have children playing Bloxburg, because I'm seeing this seriously, or Roblox. That's what it is, Roblox. But it could be Bloxburg inside of Roblox, because I'm seeing the computer program. So I'm seeing a picture of a white Jeep, not just a white Jeep, but a white Jeep, not 2 doors, 4 doors. And so I'm seeing a 4-door Jeep, and I'm seeing like I said, I was seeing wildflowers. Let me see the other thing that I wrote a couple more things down. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So, and I need to talk, there's a couple of things. So if you can take any of these, you need to start saying something, which means, oh, that makes sense to me, Janny, or that makes sense to me, or that doesn't. So just try and, so if it makes sense, let me know. So I want to talk about a grandma. I feel a grandmother energy here. I feel with her, I want to talk about somebody who had very kind eyes. It feels like this is somebody, so when I'm here, I'm feeling like a passive. She's showing me like pain in my stomach and my intestines. So it's like a lower cancer from the chest down. So I'm seeing cancer here. I'm also seeing it. She's showing me right now, one of the things she's showing me is it lighting up her body. So it metastasized everywhere. And it's not necessary. I think she's not making me think it was like wildfire. Maybe that's what the wildflowers are. But I mean, there's like a part of it that it just kept continually going as we thought that things were going to get better, and it didn't actually get better. So it's almost like she's showing me a bee name, like a Betty or Beverly or something along. It's an older time name. Okay. So I want to talk about her. Okay. So one of the things she just said is she wanted to thank it. Okay. So it feels like between the daughter and the husband. So the son-in-law, like she's thanking the son-in-law right now for stepping forward and doing a ton of work to help like almost stopped their lives to make sure that she was cared, because I see the one of the things that's showing like is the nurse hat going on both of them. So she's being very thankful about the process, wanting to let you know that that there's no wanting to let you know that there's no pain. Do you understand that, Sarah? There being no pain? Like, was she in a lot? Did you know her to be in a lot of pain and it metastasized in her body? Because this she's kind of got a hold of my guts. It's the way it kind of works. Maybe. And Eunice would be an older name. Hi, Michelle K. Okay, so I'm gonna move on from that. I want to talk to okay, so I want to talk to I feel like I just heard the word stroke. I feel a younger male. So this is a younger male, but not like, so this is really important because I really like to explain how I get my signs and symbols, how they work, because if I can explain to you, then you can begin to listen to these subtle messages and get your sort of like tuning kind of in, okay? So one of the things that I want to talk about is when I say a younger male, this feels like a father figure that died before he was like 60. I feel younger. I feel a stroke. I feel very quick, sudden passing, not expected, completely. Okay, so completely. This is going to be a long session. I just have like a couple more spirits show up here. So that's very important messages as well. So one of the things I'm feeling there is, oh, I just saw your answer, Sarah. I need to make sure you understand that she's not in any pain at all. That's very important. She's actually like glowing, which is like, for me, when she's glowing, it's just that all is safe. All is happiness, free, no pain. Okay. So when I see a younger male, somebody passed like of like a stroke, like pretty quick. I went fast. Nobody was expecting it. I'm a father. Oh, yeah, that would absolutely fit. I feel that I feel like I was starting to lose my hair. He's showing me like a patch in the back of his head of thinning hair, and I think it may have bothered him a little bit. So I want to bring that up. Then I want to talk about, this is very important because I need to talk about, this is really important. So I need to talk about, I need to talk about the mother and the daughter that are across the other side. I feel both are linked with cancer. I feel they passed many years apart. They're showing me being together hand in hand. I want to, like, the sister died very young. Lots of like headaches, lots of like thinking you're going to fight it, thinking it's going to work, thinking it's going to work. And it feels like I feel the person left behind is, it's like the sibling left behind. I feel like an orphan. And what they're trying to tell you is that they're coming through right now. It's interesting. So they're showing me a lot of polka dots. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but understand, when I start to connect with the spirit and then they turn around and then they say something kind of wacky, it's a validation for the person who's supposed to be getting the message. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of smoking around when I grow up. She's showing me that. Also showing me okay. So there was two separate kinds of cancers. One looks brain and one looks breast. One looks like it started in the chest area and then went to lungs and brain. So there was okay. So okay. So what they're showing me right now is something that would normally happen when I was if I was in a group with somebody, because they're showing me that the daughter's going through a lot of depression right now where they're at. So I'm seeing a lot of super hard times for the daughter. They're like a very serious depression. I feel like there's not on, so some, okay, so part of what I'm hearing here is from them is that there's a West Coast connection, and I'm seeing a West Coast connection. I'm seeing a couple of coast connections, quite honestly, and okay, so that's a kind of I need to put that out there and make sure that that's that is actually that's talked about at least. So I want to encourage this. If you're finding this later and you have joined, I want to let you know, I really would like to talk to you, because it's like there's a depression that's happening, as feeling like abandoned and alone. Abandoned and alone. That's what I keep seeing, like abandoned and alone. And there's like, how can I fix this? What can I do? And you're trying to do everything to possibly fix it, and it's not happening. So, all right, so I want to do that. Who else? Just okay. I have absolute faith that they're going to bring their live ones to me. So they're alive people. So I have absolute faith that's going to happen. Okay, so I want to talk then. I want to talk about. Oh, I feel it. Lots of fathers coming through right now. I just, all of a sudden there's two big ones. Actually, I think both worked the big three. I feel big three. I feel really, wait, I got to remember this. Okay. I'm remembering because of the way I did this, I'm seeing father, and I'm like seeing this. And so it's like it looks like a molecule to me, which is the water molecule. Okay. That's a weird, I mean, I gotta say, like, if I want to talk, if you're close to water, that like there's a father figure coming forward, close to water, worked at the big three, is talking about, hang on. Okay, so he's talking about like another contract or another signing happening that's supposed to be like the last. Like he's saying it's going to be the last of it, and it's going to be okay. He's even talking about a potential of moving, so which would actually be good. So I'm just asking, moving where? Okay, so as he's talking there, I just see another. He shows me his mother-in-law crossed. So he's with his mother-in-law. So a great-grandmother and a father are together on the other side. And I think, I'm not sure if this is his wife that's moving or the daughter. So he's not being very clear. He's just talking about a moving, and he's showing me all of my stuff for moving. Okay, Patricia, let's connect after this. Okay, I want to go back to this daughter for a second that lost the father and the great-grandmother, because what I want to say is that there's just been such a trying time, like one trying time after another. He's just showing me like one like rainy cloud after another rainy cloud after another rainy cloud. And then when he's showing me this, he's making me feel that it's going to end, that I see that ending and stopping. I see there being a lot of relief. And if this is you, please let me know, because validation is always good. And it's you're by the water, or he was by the water. Water is a big deal, because he's literally, I'm doing the I'm writing out the molecule for water, which is interesting. So, okay. I'm going to finish this up for tonight because I'm realizing my YouTube videos might be too long. You may not like it. So, I'm trying to be respectful of your time as well, but I'll be at Earth Elements this Wednesday. Get a hold of them to get tickets. They're selling tickets there. I woke up, I've had some big shifts in my life, and I woke up with a huge idea that's now going to start coming out in some interesting ways. There's some revamping, and there's classes happening. They can never be too long. That's funny. You guys could listen to me talk forever, couldn't you? You could just keep going, Janny. Just do it. It's funny. But I have classes that I'm going to a set of 4 or 5 that's going to run through June, and I'm going to start announcing them, and we're going to start with handwriting analysis, and because handwriting analysis, I know that we do a lot of things on computers, but if you can utilize this skill and learn it and incorporate it back into your daily life, then it can be something that will be really helpful. So I will be offering that in person, but I am also going to be utilizing all of technology, and I'm going to record it. And then when I record it, I'm going to then make it available for a course to be online. So be on the lookout, because at jannycook.com, I'm going to have the courses. I'm going to have these really super cool, my aura sprays, the full moon aura spray and the new moon aura spray. And I'll have my full moon and new moon crystal candles that I'm making, which I'm so excited about. It's going to be so awesome. I love it. Anyway, I also think there is I really feel like we're at a pretty dehydrated time. Oh, I didn't even talk about what I did. Yeah, that's right. Okay. We'll talk about that later. We'll do that another day. I didn't even end you on Facebook tonight. I hope you appreciate that. I just kept going and going and going. Oh, when are you going to? Okay. I'll look at that, Kim. I see you asking about when I'm going to be going to Sal's. I normally don't do one-on-ones, but I want to see you. So when I come down to do a group, I'd love to come down a little bit earlier and see you, because I promised you a reading from like a million years ago. So let's do that, okay? Let's get that going. Some cool stuff coming on the horizon. Who knows? Maybe pillows, maybe bags. I don't know. Whatever we kind of feel inspired by spirit to do is what we do. And by we, I mean the multiple personalities of me. Anyway, see light, be light. Thank you so much for joining me on this Monday night. Oh my gosh, that all rhymes. See light, be light. Thank you for joining me on this Monday night. And oh, hi, Nick. I just saw that, Beth. Hi, Nick. Nice I'd give you a kiss if I was there. And okay, so thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night, and enjoy life. Get in the vibration and frequency of peace. Like this video, like the video at Facebook, share it with your people. Azara, thank you so much for coming. I didn't get to say hi to you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much, because without you, I just wouldn't do this, because, well, I wouldn't do it. So see light, be light. Wonderful night. Ciao.